My name is Richard Bolam. I'm Production Manager for Lovebytes 2007, and I'm here to be in conversation with Rose Butler, who I know some of you know already. Rose works with photography, video and installation. She's currently exhibiting a new piece of work, Tent, at the Millennium Galleries as part of Lovebytes 2007. She has exhibited widely and received various awards and commissions, including a Beck's Future Student Award for digital video in 2004. Last year she was commissioned by Fact and BBC Big Screen to produce work for the launch of Art and Architecture Week, and her digital short Box was chosen to represent Western Europe in the 1 Minute Awards. She is currently an Associate Lecturer at Sheffield Hallam University and Chesterfield College of Art.
Thank you.
Oh, welcome to Show Cinema, and welcome to Lovebytes 2007, Rose. I've known you for a few years, and I remember very clearly the first time I met you, which was at Block Studios, which for anyone who doesn't know is very close by. And you were showing a piece of work that you made with Ben Crane. And I can remember the first impression I got of it, because I thought, oh yeah, I understand this. It's four screens and it's kind of the same thing. And then I remember the impression I got from it. It was a multi-screen work, and it seemed simple at first. But the more I looked at it, the more I realised how sophisticated it was, and that there was a lot more going on than originally it seemed. And so it kind of drew me in very easily, and yet it was something you could look at for quite a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a technically complex piece of work, and that piece of work really has informed my practice in various different ways, or has been influential over my practice since then. There's elements taken from that show. If we're thinking about process, the Lovebytes theme, then the processes that I went through to produce that show has informed lots of different elements of my work and different pieces of my work. And the piece that I'm going to show you first, the piece that was produced for BBC Big Screen, it takes the interactive element from Block, where I was working with delay units, and a delay unit delays footage by about 20 seconds, a switching device which allows you to switch between screens and feeds from...
This is video switching and video delay, isn't it?
Yeah, from live camera and delayed footage, and also from pre-recorded footage. And also working with CCTV. So the commission at Fact allowed me to combine all these elements and work directly on a screen in the middle of a town centre with a camera that was hardwired into just above the screen, so that I could pre-record footage from there and combine these 3 time modes in the city centre. So there's pre-recorded footage, just delayed footage, and live footage, all in the same space and filmed at the same location, so that you thought it was happening in real time. Let's show this clip. There's a really nice bit in this clip where there's a guy with a brown t-shirt on. He's got long hair and he's looking at the screen, and he's stood there and he thinks that he's kind of got it sussed. He understands the pre-recorded footage, and he understands that there's a live feed and it's switching between that. But then the delayed footage kicks in, and he walks away from the screen, and he's just about to leave the square, and he glances back on himself and sees that he's still standing in the middle of the square, and in a moment of utter confusion he turns back to check to see if he's still stood there in the square. So look out for him. Well, the next piece that I wanted to show you is based on the Lloyd's building of London. I was interested in the Lloyd's building because it's well, being this icon of global capitalism, it sits on the edge of Tower Hamlets, which is one of the most deprived boroughs in Europe. and I was interested in that detachment from its local surroundings, how there's this pillar of trade and economy, and actually it's nothing to do with where it's situated at all. And being given the opportunity to use the glass lifts as well in the Lloyd's building was...
This is the famous building with the lifts on the outside, isn't
yeah.
it? Yeah.
It was just brilliant to play with that idea of slippage and dislocation, and the idea of the kind of optical illusion of figure and ground, where if you imagine the picture of a profile where there's two faces facing in, and you can either see two profiles or you can see a vase in the middle. It was playing with that idea a bit, where there's that push and pull between what you see, and that's kind of illustrated through the motion tracking in the work.
Oh, okay. What's apparent there in the background, particularly, I find it looks as if the buildings are adjusting themselves to suit the viewer. It's a really strange effect that's going on, but that's not animation at all, is it?
Well, it's animated in the sense that the video frames are animated. So there's 12 floors in the Lloyd's building, and we only had one static camera, which travelled in the lift. So if you imagine that to edit this piece, we had to work out the time that it took for the lift to travel between each floor, because obviously floors aren't all exactly the same distance apart, which I imagined that they would be. And then in order for the buildings to motion track, to stay static, we moved the frame in relation to the movement of the lift. It becomes more apparent if in the next piece, which is done using the same effect, is motion tracked.
Yeah, I mean, this what I think it becomes apparent in this piece of work. I mean, I saw this in the site gallery on 6 screens, mounted like that, is that it looks to me like it's actually very time consuming to do.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's brilliant working with editors like Kip and other multimedia professionals, because it really stretches the work, and it means that you can pull it in different ways or shape it in different ways. The whole sequence was choreographed, not in a very organised way, but the movement of the lifts, the movement between floors, the actors and actresses that were in the footage, it was all set up